Welcome back to another episode of Just Jossin Around. My guest today, Jake Parker.
Hello.
Jake Parker.
Happy to be here.
I'm happy you're here too. 20 minutes late, but honestly, not the latest we've had a guest.
With coffee.
With coffee, which I've never had before. I want to try it.
This is her first time trying coffee.
No, this is it's from Blue Line.
It's a local business. I like to support local.
It makes me think of the Dusty Slay bit.
Yeah.
Like, it's good, but it's like, you know.
I like to drink my coffee. I don't really like the top for whatever reason.
I can't, and I'm trying to get the top off.
Doesn't make it taste as good.
Not a top. I can't
Then
get it
you run
off.
into the issue of it gets cold too fast.
Exactly.
Coffee is the perfect temperature for a short period of time.
Yeah, and then it immediately gets cold, and the flavor doesn't get better.
Yeah,
as
it's
it gets
kind of like
colder.
avocados. Like when it's perfect, but it's just such a short window.
Exactly, and you got to time it just right, and your life revolves around it.
Yeah,
especially.
I don't buy avocados for that reason.
I get
Too much planning.
the tiny ones from Trader Joe's because those I feel like those last a while, and they get the job done.
Not a Trader Joe's near where I live, unfortunately.
That's insane. You would think Denver would be the mecca of Trader Joe's.
I think it's just downtown. There's not that many grocery stores. There's a King Soopers, which is like the Kroger. Kroger's they're huge. Like Kroger's and Baker's.
Yeah.
Kroger's is King Soopers. I think in South it actually is Kroger.
I don't know. I think when I was in Denver, I kept misreading the King Super sign.
King Scoopers?
King Scoop.
That's
Yeah,
what
I thought it was an
for a long
ice
time,
cream
too.
shop.
It seems like there should be a C with those O's.
Yeah, that's what I feel like. I will say before you got here, I was talking to Grace about how we started
The podcast?
our first podcast together.
It was pretty lit.
That's for those who don't know, me and Jake co-hosted one episode of This
What was
Is
it called?
Serious.
Oh, yeah. That was the name of the show we did, too. This is a good name.
It is a good name. I think it made for a better...
It's what's the word? Oxymoron?
Sure, because it's...
Yeah, it's an oxymoron.
It's not serious.
Like a jumbo shrimp. Yeah.
There it is.
Maybe there might be a different word, but...
That episode, I don't know if I'll ever... That's like try not to cringe challenge is me going back and listening to it.
That's any time I listen to myself.
What you have your own podcast, The Fit or whatever.
I haven't really been doing it for quite a
Okay, but
while.
you still have like 200 episodes or
do.
something out
Yeah.
of that podcast.
I was ripping podcasts
But
for
solo.
about 2 years.
Solo.
A lot
right?
of them. Oh, I did a lot of guests, like half and half.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I was the OG. I was like Joe Rogan.
That is impressive, just the consistency of episodes.
Yeah.
So that's fun.
Thank you.
Just all fitness related.
Yeah, and like it was called Beyond Fitness, so it was like things that were related to fitness, but not necessarily. Like I'm into a lot of like self-improvement and stuff like that, and I feel like people that are into fitness are also into that sort of stuff. Like sometimes I would just reach out to people I didn't really think would. Like I interviewed this guy, David Allen, who wrote this book, Getting Things Done, which is like one of the best-selling productivity books of all time. And he was just a super nice guy. He's like, yeah, I'll come on your podcast. Like he was on Tim Ferriss like the week before.
That's
you know
sick.
Who Tim Ferriss is?
No.
He's like a big podcaster, but yeah.
That's cool though.
I interviewed Steven Pressfield. He was on Joe Rogan.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Good for you. Look at you.
It's like 2 degrees of separation from Joe Rogan. Now your podcast is 3 degrees of separation from Joe Rogan, so you're welcome.
I always think about that because isn't it like you're always like 4 people away from knowing
I want to say it's 6.
6?
But maybe it is less.
Yeah. I think it is less because it's like I like to make the connection like how...
Some random person in Africa.
Oh.
No, like anybody in the world.
Yeah. Sure.
That's like as far away from here
As possible.
as possible. Or maybe like North Korea.
Rest in peace.
No, I think
Oh, wait. The South one's bad, right?
No, the North one's bad.
North
I don't
is
know.
bad.
I don't know if we should say rest in peace.
I'm
though.
sorry.
That
I really
that
didn't know
feels
what to say.
distasteful. We're thinking of you, North Korea. We're here for you.
In our thoughts and prayers.
Never forget. You can say never forget about a lot of stuff.
You can. Because they don't want you to forget. This
Kim
episode...
Jong-un is brought to you by Kim Jong-un. If he paid you for the podcast, you'd do an ad, wouldn't you?
I mean, it depends on the money.
Are you... maybe I shouldn't ask this on air, but I was wondering how you got ads in your podcast as a podcaster myself.
I don't.
Oh, I guess it's the hookup with the Hurrdat.
Yeah, it's just Hurrdat.
Pretty tight.
Grace maybe can.
I was just jealous. I was like, damn, I want to do ads. Like for the longest.
You can have your own independent ones, or if you want to do it with us, you have to have a certain number of listeners to do
that
it.
makes sense. Yeah, I never had a ton of listeners, but I had fun.
That's all that matters. That's the biggest. I think that's the biggest thing people forget in podcasting.
It would spike when you have like someone who's like semi-famous on, and then I'd like sometimes get them to share it to their Instagram, and then I'd get like 500 listens or something. But that was like the most.
That's how honestly, I feel like I don't know if the episode got views, but I know the clips did for when we had Cameron on.
Oh yeah, sure. Did he post on his Instagram?
Yeah, and it still gets
got a
like
shit ton of social media.
That clip. I mean, I like a good amount of views on a clip for me is like we get maybe 2,000. I'm like, oh my god, it's doing good. But when Cameron came on and we posted that clip, it was like 75,000. I was like, oh, that's awesome.
I don't think I could handle having that big of a following on social media.
He handles it very well.
Overwhelming.
He's like so. Honestly, I respect his hustle so much because he will have an idea and then he gives himself like 2 days and then flushes the idea out, edits it, and puts it out.
I like the idea of like sketches and stuff, but I'm not into the editing.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like since working here and being more like apt to using like Adobe Premiere and Audition stuff, I don't mind like messing around with it. But
so tell me about your sketch group. Has there been a sketch?
There has been sketches. It's just like we'll get together, record, and then when it comes down to like editing and like putting it out, it takes forever. And we also haven't met like within the last 3 weeks. But Cheeks coming to you.
That's what it's called?
Cheeks, yeah. Like
butt cheeks.
Butt cheeks.
Nice.
Yeah.
Who is it? You, Ross, Colton, and Noe?
And Lauren.
There's some. I miss the people here the most. Like we were kind of texting about. Like I think I'm just the type of person it takes me a long time to like make those deep connections. But that's definitely what I miss about Omaha. It's like everybody we were with last night and everybody I was very close with.
I know.
There's just like a lot of good comedians here. But that's the thing I was talking to, I think Tyler about the thing that's similar about Denver and Omaha. It's like obviously Denver's way huger of a comedy scene, way bigger. But there's just like everybody's really good. Like the quality of people, like 70 or 80% of people can go up there and like know what they're doing, get a laugh, which maybe that sounds like kind of like mean if you don't know comedy, but like that's a big thing in and of itself.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's not always the case, but yeah, I mean, it's not easy to just go up there and know what you're doing and get a laugh. Like that's something to be said for that for sure.
Are there a lot of first timers in Denver?
Not really, honestly. And like,
just people.
I mean, like, I would say proportionally the same amount as here, but like there's so many people that are like really trying to go hard at comedy, like,
I respect
do a lot of shows and and like take it very seriously. Like literally like here, there's maybe like 10 or 20 people I'd put in that category. There's, I guess it's just proportion still, but it's like 60, 70 more.
Yeah.
Which is, it's overwhelming.
And also, I feel like it's not just Denver. Like, people talk about comedy in, like, Fort Collins, Boulder. Like, there's major scenes around Denver.
Colorado Springs is a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I wouldn't want it any other way either. Like, that's what pushes you to be better. I mean, it would be, like, if I just moved to a city, like, say, hypothetically, I moved to Denver, and I was like, oh, like, I'm really good compared to all these people. Like, that wouldn't be any fun. Like, it pushes you to want to do better.
Yeah. Yeah, it's... I'm not saying this in a whatever way, but there's just less people here, so it's easy to be noticed.
No, I mean, it's just factual. It's just the way that, I mean, that's part of why I moved, like Grace was asking. And it was, I wouldn't say comedy was like number one priority, but it was definitely up there where like I just was ready for something a little bit bigger. And but I mean, I would say like that is number 3 or 4 in the list of priorities.
Yeah.
Denver's just a cool place.
It is.
Cool comedy scene.
It is really cool. I want to go out there more.
Especially for outdoorsy boys.
Like you, yeah. Hitting the slopes. I want to redo my trip to Denver because when I went, I lost my mind.
Yeah, and I didn't know. You handled it well.
I thank you. I also felt like I handled my psychosis well, it's
like we were talking about last night, like Midwestern people are always sorry. Like, that's just an extension. You're like, oh, don't mind me, just in psychosis. I don't want to take away from anybody's trip.
Like, what happened was, it started, like, I was feeling fine on the way there, and then it was when we just got there, put our bags down, we went and walked around, and we were on that bridge.
Oh yeah.
And we were just like looking out, and like I swear, even like visually, just things just like changed, and I was like, oh, this is bad. I'm in this.
Have you that's happened before?
Yeah, I had psychosis like 2 years ago. Damn. And it lasted a week. This one was the longest lasting psychosis. I had
How would you define psychosis in like 1 to 2 sentences?
Extreme delusions from reality, hallucinations, peaked emotion. It's just a lot.
That's very apt, I would say.
Yeah.
It helps me understand.
Yeah, and I just remember
that's like if someone, I feel like if someone asks you like what's it like to be drunk and you've never been drunk, like you wouldn't really get it.
Sure, until you.
I think I sort of get psychosis, but obviously like I don't know.
It's just like imagine it's just like feeling like you've just been dropped in a different reality. Like there's no part of your brain that is like all the thoughts. There's like usually a filter where you get a thought and you go, well, that's crazy, and then it's gone. That filter's gone, and like. Yeah, I was having really bad delusions too.
Thought
like,
me and Ross were a couple.
I thought you and Ross were a couple. That was like, yeah, went through that phase a little bit. But also it was when we were at the Rockies game. So a common theme of my psychosis is that I do think I'm Jesus. That's like every time I've had it, it's just it goes back to that. So when we were at the Rockies game, you know, they have that big scoreboard. Mm-hmm. I just remember like looking at it, but like I was like hallucinating what the scoreboard was saying because it was very much, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was very, and then, but
like,
also.
What was it saying to you?
It's really embarrassing. I don't.
Cut this.
We don't have to cut it, but it was just like, you know, I don't want to say it.
Have you ever? Do you know that Always Sunny has a podcast? I don't listen to it anymore, but that was their thing. They would always go, cut that. That was just, if anyone listens to Always Sunny podcast.
I feel like whenever someone like requests something cut from this, I usually am like, that's our clip out. We're going to use it for social.
No, yeah, for sure.
Because I just think it's fun.
Yeah, you shouldn't cut anything. I mean, unless you want to.
Sometimes there are things that go too far that need to be cut. But mostly after review, it's fine.
Joe Rogan doesn't cut. This is the Joslyne DeBonis experience. I kept thinking that away. I'm like, that is funny.
What?
Just that it's the Joslyne DeBonis experience.
Is it? I think it's a better experience than Joe Rogan.
It's been pretty good so far.
Yeah, it's fun.
Got a cup of coffee down.
It's nice. The decorations. You like this?
Yeah.
For those who can't see it, it's a thank you note with no message on the inside.
I was gonna say I didn't think there was anything written.
But it's a cup of coffee with a nice smile on it.
It's always interesting. Blue Line's definitely one of those places where they'll draw you up a little thing in your latte.
I love that. When I spent a little time in a coffee shop and I learned how to do latte art, and it was just like if someone.
Is it hard?
Not really. To be honest, you can do simple stuff, pretty like easy once you I don't know how to do it, but. It's a nice treat for when people come get their coffee. Mm-hmm. The thing that would piss me off though is when I do it and I'd make it special. And then the person just wouldn't care, and they'd like take the coffee stir, and they wouldn't even like at least just look at it and go, oh. And then and then take it away or be like, nice, like just something, even an eyebrow raise. I'll take an eyebrow raise.
There's so much pressure in this society. I struggle with like appreciating things because it's all just momentary. You know, it's just like.
Are you
especially the fact that it's gift giving season?
It is.
I'm not like I don't know how to react when someone gets me a cool gift. I'm like, wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I do like I just immediately just go, wow, thank you. Like I just am thank you. Because I can't do the last time I got excited over a gift was when my family gave me a Big Time Rush CD when I was maybe 10, 12, something like that. And it's actually, there's a video on YouTube of me reacting to it.
Pull it up.
Jamie, I'm just kidding. But it's like, yeah. And I was screaming and I was very excited. And I haven't received a gift that has made me feel that way since.
Wow. The only gift, I'm trying to think, I get
soap now. Like all my gifts are it's soap or it's a Visa.
I was like the meme this last week of like I had holes in my socks and I was like, Mom, I know what I want for Christmas. Like the meme on Twitter is like, hold on, boys, only 2 more weeks till Christmas. I gotta find socks that don't get holy so quickly.
Yeah, what's your brand?
I'm wearing Smart Wool right now. Not a sponsor of the podcast, but
all right,
they're pretty nice.
Nice, beautiful.
But it's like you can't afford to just like have only $20 pairs of socks. Like that's an expensive pair of socks.
Insane. I really want Bombas.
Oh yeah, I've heard good things about those.
My uncle, who is doing very well in life, only wears Bomba socks.
Wow,
that's a tight shoe.
Yeah, it is.
You got the dad kicks on.
Yeah,
you do dress like someone who has a family.
I just dress pretty plain and simple. I'm just like, what you see is what you get.
It's fatherly.
I think I think like maybe now I'm kind of considering like maybe I should just go all in with my socks. I went all in with my underwear last year and I don't regret it at all. I got like all Lululemon underwear, like 9 pairs. That's
insane. But
I mean,
honestly,
it's a big investment, but it's like you wear underwear every single day.
Exactly.
Like, treat yourself.
Yeah. Especially if it's your everyday pair.
Like those kind of things that you use every day, like spend extra money on your underwear, your bed sheets and stuff. And I mean, I don't know. I don't really care that much about shoes, but I guess like that would be one. I've never had like a really comfortable pair of shoes, but I'm not like, oh, my shoes are uncomfortable.
I have like one good pair of tennis shoes that are like running, like if I need those and I have them, but everything else is just for play.
Yeah, just for play. I have really flat feet, so
same.
If a shoe has a big old arch, that like doesn't work.
I remember I haven't done it in a while because sometimes I need arch support because I do have very flat feet. It's bad for your back. And I used to have to get my shoes in like a W and a wide.
Oh yeah.
For the flatness.
Yeah, I feel like some shoes. What shoe is it recently? Sometimes like you just can't quite find the right fit. It's just so frustrating. Like maybe they just go from 11, like 10 to 11, or like they have the wide and the wide's too big, but the regular one's too narrow. I mean, that's I think why I dress simply also. It's like when you like what feels good, you just want to stick with that. I don't know, man. It seems like a very like male thing, I guess, but.
No, I get it. I feel like I was talking to Megan about this, and Grace actually, about this. I feel like I dress like a cartoon character. Like I pick simple things that are like fine, and then I just put them together and I'm like, all right, this is okay. Mm-hmm. This is simple. And if I do go crazy, it's because I'm making a point and I've thought about it. I've pondered this outfit for days leading up to it. I've emotionally like built up to wear it, and now I'm ready. But it's not just on the fly. Yeah.
The thing that really blows my mind is people that like to shop, like my brother and my mom, or like I've dated girls that love to shop. And like to each their own, but like I don't know, that's just crazy. That's just it's so expensive
to shop,
and it's like you can only wear so many things. I mean, I guess like it depends like what you're where you're shopping, or what you're getting. But I don't know, like of all the ways to spend money, I don't spend money shopping. That just seems crazy to me. I mean, like everyone, like this is a nice like jacket, but I'll just have it for like 10 years.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like my philosophy is like get nice things and have them for a long time. And I don't know, not that I definitely shouldn't be giving fashion advice, but that's just, I don't know, to spend like hundreds of dollars on clothes.
Sure.
I mean, like, I don't know. I spent hundreds of dollars on golf, and people could probably say that's crazy.
Everyone has their vice.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I went to Target this morning.
What'd you get?
I just wanted, I got these hair clips because I've been really wanting clips for my hair, and then I needed new lashes. And then I saw a dress, and I was really excited to wear it, and then I put it on. I hated it. And then I was like, but the fitting rooms weren't open, so I couldn't try it on there. So I bought it, but now I have to return it. So now it's another trip back to Target.
Yeah, and that's what I hate too is errands. So that's another reason I hate shopping.
I do kind of like errands because this is I don't know. I like getting coffee and running errands. It's very fun. But they're all like non-errands that really don't need to be ran. But yeah, I'm going to go back to Target and return it, which means I'm going to go back to Target, return it, and then buy more. And then it's like free because I already spent the money. You know what I'm saying? Girl math. Okay. Girl math is real.
I mean, Target has some nice clothes.
I like Target. The skirts from Target. I love Target.
My friend Ryan buys men's clothes for Target.
Target has good stuff.
Yeah.
You're
doing good, Ryan.
Good job, Brian. I don't know. I feel like I either do Target, but if I want something very specific, I will do a boutique. I like there's dry goods. It's nice. But yeah, those are fun. This is dry goods.
Nice.
All right. This is all I
think I don't know. I like honestly like I think I'm trying like as I'm getting really wise as I get older, and I think like
that's crazy.
I think I'm realizing my blind spots, and one is like I think it's a lot harder to be a woman. And it took me like 3 minutes to get ready this morning.
How long do you think it took me to get ready?
48 minutes. Close.
It's like an hour 30.
I mean, but that's like okay, hour 30, that's like 100 times 30.
100
exactly, I think, yeah. Or 100 times 3, I mean. So it took you 100 times longer.
Yeah. Yes, it did. And I feel like it typically does take me like, I feel like close to 2 hours to get ready. But I love that. I enjoy that part of my day. I drag it out because I like to wake up. I like to have my coffee. I like to watch something while I get ready.
Like on TV?
Like I've been watching a lot of, you ever watch Cody Co?
No, I don't know what that is.
Oh, well, I watch Cody Co videos.
Is this TikTok?
It's not. It's like he's on YouTube, but he's like a YouTuber. But he does like reaction videos to like you ever see those like online or not online, but they're YouTube dating shows like The Button.
I mean, I know what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like he just like riffs on those, and it's really funny, and I like it. So it's entertaining.
I think the morning routine is one of like the last sacred things.
It's great.
Got to have your time in the morning.
You do. Even though it's honestly though, it's excessive how much time I take in the morning, and I do end up making myself late to most things because of.
I'm lucky. I'm just like late to working from home, which you can't really be that late to necessarily.
Okay, flags.
It's nice. I'm blessed.
You are blessed. I do envy your lifestyle. I envy your apartment. I don't envy that damn train that's behind your apartment. That's wild. But
sleeping with earplugs in every day.
And then
I remember like my roommate, it was like such a minor. He's like, yeah, we live next to a train. Like we might hear it every once in a while. Fast forward 3 months. 3 a.m.
It's insane. I think like the first night, I don't know if it was just because like, I don't know, I was emotionally distressed. I didn't notice it. But the second night, I was like, oh, that's a problem.
Yeah, and then they'll like click clack together, like connect. It's wild. I could just do train ASMR the rest of the time. That's really loud. But that is what it sounds like.
It is. The screeching is insane.
Like that's not even, it's not an exaggeration.
I don't.
My same friend Ryan, he's like, he was staying at my apartment once, and he's like, I literally thought there was a train coming through the apartment.
That's what it feels like.
It's wild. And the wildest stuff, I mean, maybe there's only one example in particular, but like we look out the door the other day, and there's just a plane getting transported by train.
Oh, what?
Like the carbon like base of it, not the wings. I guess, I don't know, it's carbon, I'm just guessing, but
no idea.
Wild. Just a
crazy.
Plane.
Yeah.
There's tanks actually recently.
Tanks?
Yeah. Like, why are we
transporting?
No idea.
Military?
The military industrial complex. That's why our taxes are so high.
I'll ask my dad. I'll see what's going on. Salute.
You gotta respect the military.
I know. It's, a lot of people don't want to, but I feel like I'm, like, by blood.
Somebody's got to do it.
Somebody has to respect
I certainly can't. I wouldn't last a second in the military.
Oh my gosh, I wouldn't either. I don't think I would last like in a kitchen. Like I don't know. You ever walk into like a Popeyes? Just people in the kitchen?
No, I'm just thinking of the show The Bear. It gets wild.
My gosh, yes. It's like I would cry. I'm too sensitive. Even if someone was like, "Hey, just do this next time." Like if it was just like a what's that called when you like are trying to correct someone positively?
Oh, constructive criticism.
Even constructive criticism, I take that, and I'm very sensitive.
It is hard. Constructive criticism is, I mean, it really should be beneficial, but it's hard not to get your ego attached to it for sure. Mm-hmm.
I will say I've gotten better. Like, I don't know if I've had a problem with it, but like as far as stand-up goes, I feel like I love when people have like a critique about it, because then I'm like, opportunity.
You're a fucking idiot. You don't know what you're talking about.
It depends on who it's coming from. If it's someone that I don't respect, if it's someone I don't think is funny, then I don't care.
Yeah. Speaking of comedy, you're supposed to spill the Omaha comedy tea.
Oh, I feel like everyone shoved it down your throat last night.
Yeah.
I feel like, I wanted to, I bailed on that completely, but I wanted to update you on the happenings of the Omaha comedy scene. But immediately in the green room, you wanted the gossip.
We don't have that much to talk about. I mean, we do, but, it just centers around comedy from there.
Oh, yeah, true. And with that group of people.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Julian Leisure Johnson is having his 4th child.
That's great.
At some point, there will be I mean, when's he going to start bringing them
to the comedy?
To comedy.
I mean, hopefully never. I don't know. I mean, it's too wild for me.
It's very
having kids. I mean, on accident. I don't know. Having kids is just wild. Just in general. Kids are just, I don't know.
Yeah.
They're wild.
I'm down for a dog. I want a dog.
It's a good stepping stone into being a parent.
I don't know. I nannied for a little bit and I realized that like I feel like I'm too relaxed. Like I don't know if I could actually parent. I don't know if I could instill values into a child.
Yeah.
I genuinely don't think I'm strong enough to leave an impact.
It's just so, I don't know. Like sometimes a lot of times I think I want a family, but then I'm like, it's pretty nice to not have a family also.
Right?
Pretty relaxing.
I'm very selfish. I'm like, my schedule, everything is just me.
Yeah.
And you'd have to sacrifice.
And the other thing that's nice about being a man compared to a woman, I feel like I'm like selling men here. Like you should be a man. Yeah. But like, I don't have to decide necessarily too soon, like I don't have that same biological clock.
Yeah.
I could, like Al Pacino made a baby at like 85. And so did one of those other actors. One is like Robert De Niro.
Had a kid.
Yeah, they just still got active sperm in there somehow.
Good for them. Biological clock or not, I don't think it matters. I don't think.
Well, you don't want. Your baby could have problems if you're like 43. I mean, it's possible. It's more possible.
But also, I see like where the flaws with me genetically, like mental health, and I'm like,
you could just adopt a kid.
That would go okay.
I'd like to adopt a little black kid, and he's like really good at sports.
Why?
Because I've never been good at sports. And neither were my parents. I need to break up the lineage. Well, it would be nice. Well. Like, yeah, that's my son, Jake Parker Jr. The African one? Yeah, that's JPJ.
Your legacy?
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Like star point guard of the basketball team.
I knew it was going to be basketball.
Well, of course. I know a lot about basketball. I just don't know how to apply it. I don't have... It's like I'm an armless man who knows how to fly a plane. What good does it do you?
All I know about basketball as of right now is Draymond Green.
Yeah. He's suspended until further notice, until he gets his act together. And I showed you the Anthony Edwards text yesterday.
Yes, with the abortions.
Send a video.
Send a video. That's so funny.
He just wanted her to take the abortion pills.
And send a video.
Send a video.
It's like, I feel
These guys are very dumb.
It's harder to write duh instead of the, because I feel like autocorrect and everything. So it's like to have to go back and correct it to make sure it says duh video.
I don't know. I wonder if he like overwrote that.
What do you mean?
Like maybe when he says duh, it doesn't autocorrect.
Because he uses it so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. He made a choice long ago that's what he wanted to use.
Yeah. I don't know. That's just like, it's like very stereotypical like athletes that are very dumb. I mean, you got to wonder like all those guys that like, I mean, I guess in football, they actually usually go to college for like 3 or 4 years. But in basketball, now they have to go to college for a year. So they're somehow like making grades, I guess.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Unless they're like in the last chance you sort of deal.
Oh my gosh. I watched that. But of course, I feel like the famous clip is just where he's like, "You guys are African Americans."
I don't know if
and Mark and it's the one only white guy on the team. He's like, we're rocking with Mark because Mark is rocking with us. It's like the most quoted.
That's me and like guys who care about the NBA and play 2K.
You're the Mark. Okay, valid. I literally downloaded Twitter though just to go back when because originally it was when Draymond Green put that guy in a chokehold. NBA Twitter is so.
The best thing about Twitter is the out of pocket replies. Have you seen the Tiger Woods meme? That's a good one right now. Big dog.
No.
You haven't seen that?
No.
Wow. I feel like some people, like, I don't know, not to like harp on the age thing, but I really feel like people of different ages are like in different parts of the internet.
Yeah.
Like me and all my friends growing up are like friends that are like my age. We're big Twitter people.
And Twitter, I think Twitter's fun like for like drama that's happening like right now.
I'll go pop on Twitter every day just to get a laugh.
Yeah, it is funny. I still am. I'm loyal to TikTok.
Like there's just like I don't know. The Twitter algorithm knows me and like knows what I find funny. It'll just pop up like stupid little stuff. But I guess that's just like any social media. It's just all algorithm driven.
Yeah.
I'm just scared to get TikTok because I think I'd be too addicted.
Honestly, I've been off of TikTok more. Instagram memes have been really funny recently. I like just stuff that's like, I don't know how to explain what I like, but Instagram memes are pretty good. Or the comments on Instagram reels. Because people are like, it'll be a nice video of a kid or something. And then it'll be like a man in the comments, like, why the fuck is he so happy? On like a child's video. Whereas you won't see that on TikTok. And I just like, I like it.
A lot of horny comments too.
It's like.
That's just the internet. The internet's like 80% horniness.
It's like a sex bot just being like, do you think I'm cute? And then it's like the link to their.
Damn.
I get so the amount of sex bots that I get.
It's wild. They're getting people apparently.
They
don't need to go any further than that. But
they are tricking some of the youth.
Some of the youth.
The youth are getting tricked. I've never gotten tricked, and I've never like.
If you're listening to this, you know who you are.
You know who you, and he will listen to this. But I don't think I could be fooled by a sex bot. I don't you say that. Last night, Jake was saying that women are dumb, women have small brains.
It's just science. I'm not.
And then, but I will say, I don't know a woman who has been duped by a sex bot.
It's true. Well, that's because horniness takes away some of your brain power. Everybody knows that. It's like an equation. Brain power minus horniness equals net brain power. Like if you have a full erection, you couldn't do your multiplication tables.
That's it. Okay, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think, but there's like financial things too. Like it's honestly scary. Like people call you. I don't know. It's honestly just people that are dumb though. When I think about it,
like sending pictures and then being like, "I'm gonna send this to your family. Give me $3,000."
Yeah. No, I have friends that have got duped like concert tickets. Like I heard a story about this one girl who like drained her bank account into a debit like Visa card and like sent it to somebody.
Why?
That's just like beyond
God.
stupid.
Wow, yeah, that's terrible.
They were like, you have to drain your bank account right now.
That's crazy. That's like stuff that you see like I don't know if you're big into Dr. Phil, but they would have these like older women who've just been like are in so much debt because they keep succumbing to scams.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
oh yeah, I've heard so many of these stories now that I think about it.
Yeah,
like they can, and now with like all the technology, they can like. I have a friend of mine that's like his grandma got a call, and I think they like kind of mimicked like his brother's voice, and was like, "I'm in jail, I need bail money or something."
Yes, that was on the news because it's like AI, and it's like
and like they can look on social media. Oh, your son's name is whatever.
That's crazy. The most common that I see is like it'll be on Dr. Phil. They'll be talking to someone online that they really love, and then or like have this relationship with, and then they'll be like, "Well, I'm gonna come see you. Can you pay for the plane ticket? Oh, I missed my flight. I need money for the hotel." And like they'll just keep like baiting them for more money.
Or someone will say they want to send you money, and then actually, God damn it! Now that I think about this almost happened to me, but I didn't fall for it.
Why would anyone send you money?
Because it was like a few months ago on Instagram, I was telling my roommate, I was like, oh, this lady this lady on Instagram likes my comedy and she wants to pay me to do like a cameo, like happy birthday for her daughter.
Oh my God. Well,
and she was like, I'm going to send you $200. And then she's like, oh, my husband, God, you think some people are so dumb. And then I was like a couple steps away from falling for this. Like, oh, it's a check. And my husband wrote it for $300. So you have to give us back $100. But that's what they'll do. It's like, I'll give you $2,000 instead of $1,000 and you have to send me $1,000 back. And then somehow they take like all your money or something.
That's God.
Yeah, I heard that from some guy recently that was like trying to find a roommate and, oh, I'll send you the deposit. Oh, I sent you too much, which I don't know how that works, but.
Ugh. Yeah, no. I feel like I get comments that are like, people want to be like my sugar daddy or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, as much as I want them to be true, I don't do that.
Yeah, I'd like a sugar mama.
Yeah, those are hard. Those are hard to come by.
Yeah, like a nice 47-year-old lady.
Oh, I will say, there's this. I brought this up before on this podcast, but there's this guy from high school who I think has a kink of sending me money, and he's done it before. Because
You went to high school with him?
I went to high school with him. We had PE class together. And he found my Instagram and then started DMing me and he was like, do you remember me? And I was like, vaguely. And then he wanted to send me money and I was like, well, what do you want? He was like, nothing. He was like, do you just want to like go get your nails done or like new shoes? Like, tell me how much you need. And I was like, yeah, I don't know.
It should have been like $1,000.
He did say, what if I sent you $1,000? And I was like, do it. I was like, I literally said do it, but then he didn't. So I was like, okay. But yeah, it's happened twice so far where he's just sent me money. I don't know. It's very weird, but I do think that is a kink for some people. Well, obviously it is, but.
What was your high school experience like?
What do you think my high school experience was like?
I think you were really quiet. And probably just kind of like sat in the back of the room.
Really?
Yeah.
No. I was like, I don't know. I was involved in like a lot of clubs. I did like morning announcements for my school.
Oh, nice. Getting the reps.
I was a party gal. Yeah, I would say like I was I always had.
Where did you go to high school? In a different state, I'm assuming?
New Mexico. Yeah. I would say probably my senior year before I moved here. I was like, I had a decent friend group and I was happy. And then when I came here, I had to like start all over with 3 months left of my senior year. But we did it.
Made it.
I made it. Yeah. I feel like I actually know what you were.
I fucking hated high school. Well, I mean, like, I don't know. Looking back, when you're like, I would say I'm a very anxious person and you get very comfortable with it, like as you get older, but it's a fucking nightmare when you're like a teenager.
Yeah.
Oh,
I had a lot of anxiety. I had a lot of depression, but I was just like masking.
I do not miss high school or college.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like high school. I was just like always just feeling fucking uncomfortable. My parents were like, I feel like they were like very overbearing. I don't know. I mean, like, they were doing their best. But, like, I the thing was, like, all my friends had, like, less strict parents, and I felt like they got to do cooler shit. And then I would always feel, like, more anxious about, like, being a nerd, and, like, my parents wouldn't let me do cool stuff.
Mm-hmm. I had strict parents, too, but I just snuck out.
Yeah, I
stole the car a couple times.
I never did any of that. I got really hammered when I was, like, 16 and threw up in my bed. And then I was like,
by yourself?
No, I was with my friend, and then he wasn't really drinking like near as much. Though
was it your childhood bed that me and Taylor slept in?
No, we got rid of it a while ago. I broke it once when I was banging my high school girlfriend.
That's okay.
Yeah, you can't really talk about that because that is underage technically, but I was underage.
Yeah, I just.
But no, I was drinking with my friend, and like I didn't think I was drinking that much, but I don't know. When you're like 16, you don't know, and I was just fucked up. And then I walked home because we lived in the same neighborhood, and I threw up in my bed. And I woke up a few hours later, and I like went down to the laundry room to wash it. And my parents like, "What are you doing?"
Oh,
I just felt like cleaning my sheets. And they're like, "It smells like puke in your bedroom," and they knew. And
Yeah.
So yeah, the punishment was like we were going to a Husker game the next day, and I was like deathly hungover, and I was like, "I can't go. I have to stay here." And they're like, "No, you got." Like they didn't really punish me any other way. They're like, "You have to come with us." And it was a nightmare.
That's actually funny. I like your I really like your parents.
Yeah, I don't know. Like
your
they
dad's
like when I
funny.
think about stuff like that, it's like they didn't really care that much. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I just felt
Forcing
like
you to
they
go
were
out.
more. It felt like they were more strict than
Yeah.
like all my friends' parents, which like made it hard.
Sure.
But no, I think I don't know. I like to think they raised me and my brother pretty well. We're doing pretty good, I
You
think.
guys are doing great.
I don't know. But that's like the thing about parenting. It's like a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Because like you can't just be like nice. Like that's the worst parent, like the nice guy parent. Just like, oh, I'll give you this and that. I don't know why. I don't know why I'm giving like parent advice.
The dad, it's the New Balances.
Yeah, true. It's the
makes,
fit.
Yeah, it's making you feel like you have the authority. I feel like I've been trying to talk about this in my stand-up, but it's like, I feel like I was raised, like the parents that like my sisters have right now are very different from like the parents that I had. Because again, I had very strict, like they were, like I remember I wasn't allowed to wear skinny jeans until like 10th grade.
Wow.
I couldn't wear like regular, I had to wear like Bermuda short. Like they were so strict on me. I wasn't allowed to like listen to Drake. It was a whole thing. And then now my sister, it's just like it's free. Everyone does what they want. It doesn't matter. Everyone's swearing in conversation, and that's just I still don't like. Nate Bargatze's got that joke about he's the oldest, and he's like I don't even drink wine in front of them. Like, and that's what I don't know. That's how I feel. I don't drink in front of my parents either.
That is weird. Like the younger ones always get away with cussing a lot sooner.
Everything. And like having like I wasn't allowed to have a boyfriend either. There it's like everyone can have a boyfriend now.
Neither was I. Neither was my brother. No, that was I was a part of an actual coming out. That was pretty exciting. Not many people get to be in one of those.
Yeah.
It was pretty uneventful.
Yeah.
My brother was just like, I'm gay. And we were like, we know.
Did you know?
No, he was just like going to see this guy. And we were like all very suspicious. Like, why do you want to see this guy that lives in Texas that bad again?
Oh.
And then he had to come. He had to spill the beans.
Oh.
You know.
That's sweet. I remember the first time I met Will. It was at that Dubliner show.
Oh, yeah.
That's where I met your whole family.
Yeah. That was a fun show.
That was very fun.
Got very hammered.
Did you?
No, I think like everybody did. I mean, my dad's always hammered.
Bob?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Me and my brother, we went on after that. I think that's when we went to Gate 10.
Gate 10?
Yeah. God. Because I was trying to tell my brother he should take me to the max and he didn't want to. And then we went to Gate 10 and there was like, it's like all the, I mean, I don't know, obviously like there's a lot of black people in Omaha, but it was like 90% black people in there, which is like, and then me and Will walk in, we're like sore thumbs, sticking out like sore thumbs.
Yeah. I've never been to
They were doing
Max.
this like organized dance. It was very cool.
Like a line dance?
Yeah, I've never been so like jealous of a culture. Like white
It's like
guys
the
just
cha-cha
don't
slide.
have that.
You're like, how
yeah,
do they-
true. We do the cha-cha slide. We do. Down, do your thing, do your thing. I remember at Ethan's wedding, we had like this conga line, and it was insane. Like we had just gotten, like I was like a little bit too high, and then like we're like dancing, and we're like we did like a conga line, like I swear for like 50 yards. It was so long. I was like, this is insane. I felt like I was in like hell. It was wild. Like when you're just like so high, you don't know what's going on, and you're being very subservient because like that's all you know how to do. It was crazy.
That's funny. I did hear the amount of weed smoked on the way to that wedding was
I mean, it's just like
atrocious.
Noe is just like he just loves to smoke. Like I have like friends like Noe that like they smoke weed every day, and I get very high. I only smoke weed like maybe once a week, maybe every couple weeks. So I just get very high, and then I'm like, whoa, I feel crazy.
I mean, like I can't have it anymore because I have problems. But when I did smoke weed, it was never like a great time. It was always like I felt like I was panicked. I was like anxious about how I was being perceived.
Seems like people are realizing how scared weed makes you these days.
And
it's always been like that, but
I just would rather have a Malibu and Sprite and have a good time.
I don't get being a pothead really.
No, daily is like I just don't. That's where I'm like I gaslight myself. I'm like, well, maybe it's just affecting them differently, and that like they feel like I don't know.
It's almost always a little scary. But I mean, like getting the right amount is also key.
I've never had the right amount.
That's like Zach Peterson's joke. He's like, I've been the right amount of high like 3 times. Do you ever, what does he say? You ever get so high you think about all the ways you can cook eggs? Then I got to take a nap.
Your ability to recall comics material,
I love
and
it.
word for word, and also in their tone, like in their voice. It's one of
I was watching Zach Peterson on Instagram today. That's what he does. He's got he's got a very funny cadence.
I love
his
it.
Cadence.
It's so it's quirky, it's unique. I love it. But
Zach's very funny.
He is hilarious.
You remember, wait, no, you might not have actually been in the scene yet. This one Christmas, it must have been 2021, I suppose, because it wasn't last Christmas. We had this open mic where like people were like doing set swaps, and then I just did like a mix up of like everybody that would go. So I did like 7 or 8 different people. I was like, Noe had this joke. I think he still sometimes tells it. He's like, I've been feeling super Mexican lately. So I would just say like one line from people's jokes. And then like I saw Tyrell and I was like, bird fucker.
Just pick whatever
I don't smoke weed.
Classic. Rashad should get on the podcast.
Yeah, he's got to promote the mixtape.
He's got to promote his mixtape. Hell of a promo video for that.
Honestly.
January 13th.
I was very mad I didn't see Joel Semler last night.
Joel Semler is usually out and about.
You got to have him on the pod.
That's insane. That's asking for problems.
You just like ask him about his life story.
The main news when you were asking about like what's going on in the Omaha comedy scene, it was that Joel Semler showed up to Open Microphone last week on stilts.
Oh yeah, no, I did see that on Instagram.
Yeah, that was insane. He committed to the bit the entire, like he was in the green room.
Oh, he didn't. Oh, I thought he only did that to get on stage.
No, in the green room, like it was like a nuisance a little bit. Because
I can imagine
his stilts are in the way.
Yeah, did he have to like bend down?
Yeah, I brought cookies to the event and I like had to like lift.
That's such an interesting. I think that might be a very I'm not like actually saying you should get on the podcast if you don't want to, but it seems like a very fascinating. Like, why is he like 60 years old?
Sure.
And is like super committed to the backline
comedy.
open mic. Well, yeah, that. But it's just like, how does he not stop? I would stop. It's just like it's a lot of commitment. Honestly, it's admirable.
It is, and I mean, but he doesn't go anywhere else. He comes. I don't know. It's like a treat for him, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, Colton and I were talking about this last night. Like, I was just saying how I haven't been doing as many mics, and Colton's like, yeah, I think more people should just like be okay with just like comedy's my hobby, like it's not my obsession. But at the same time, like I think I'm gonna be famous. Like I think I'm gonna be Louis C.K. someday. You have to keep a little bit of delusion.
Delusion is important. If
I stopped believing that, it wouldn't be fun anymore.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Dude, do you not, like, is there not a small part of you that believes that? Like, I'm not saying I'd bet on it, but it's like the craziness of being a comedian. Like, you're just fucking nutty.
I think, like...
You don't see yourself, like, selling out theaters?
That would be cool. For me, personally, you know, like, I saw, you ever see Rena Calm?
No.
She's just like touring. She's just like doing stuff. She's always out on the road. But she came through, and she's someone that I've looked up to for a while. And she came through, and I met her, and I just like looked at Rena, and I was like, I would love to just be Rena Calm. Like what she's doing, like she just tours, she does her shows, and that's it. She has a good time.
Yeah.
Sells her merch.
It's an interesting like theory of like what's enough in life.
Yeah. To be honest, I feel like where I'm at, and maybe this is like the bar is so low for me, but I feel like just where I'm at right now, I'm like, I'm very happy.
Yeah.
Content.
It's hard for me to feel like that just because it's like not in my nature, but definitely feel like I'm a lot better off than I've ever been.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I look back to what I was doing 2 years ago, and I'm happy.
Yeah. I mean, people just adapt very quickly. Like,
Sure.
You can't just be happy forever. That's just not how people are built.
Yeah, it'll end. It'll end sometime. I'll get bored of what's going on and want to switch up.
Yeah, but that's what keeps life fun and interesting.
Mm-hmm. You got to keep it, I don't know, different.
You got to keep the wheels turning.
There it is.
I just think like if you don't have like things you're working towards, that would just be very boring. And again, like I know that's just my temperament, but
Yeah, like goals. Sure.
yeah, like I mean, and not that it has to be anything like huge and major, but I don't know, you got to have your eyes on something. Like even if it's just like improving your sets,
Yes.
you know?
Yeah. Which is kind of, I don't know. I did a show. I did Backline. I did 30 minutes at Backline like a couple weeks ago.
Damn.
And felt like everything, like there wasn't like, I don't know. I feel like the way I spaced it out, I was just so happy with like how it went. It felt strong all the way through, which when I did 30 in Hastings felt like there were weak points. I was just, I don't know. It just felt whatever, but it felt strong. And so I'm just like, I just want more strong material. So now I'm in this like weird phase where I'm just like, I'm also allowing myself to just get on stage with no plan and just talk and see what happens. Because I feel like sometimes I add stuff that's funny. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I feel like I'm in a...
Yeah, I think you got to record that though and like...
Go back.
I don't know. Maybe I just overthink it. But I think, yeah, you have... Like if you find a tag,
yeah,
you should capitalize on that. And it's kind of like that like taking the audience on that journey where you can try to make it feel in the moment, but it's like planned out.
Yes.
But if you find something like that, I think it's good to like include that in your act and like remember it.
I know.
But then again, maybe it loses some of the magic at the same time. But I don't know. I think maybe that's like the trick of being a comedian. It should feel magical to the audience.
What was magical was what happened at Down Under last night.
It really was.
That was
It was kind of like the perfect, like when everything in the universe aligns.
It was, honestly, yeah, that was, I thought you did very well at the Down Under.
I was so afraid I was going to bomb. I was like,
no.
I just don't feel that confident in my material right now.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I'm just going to try some new stuff.
Your material's your material, but
the best is when you have a new premise. Like I had the new premise that worked last night and I was like, oh, we're off to the races.
It was that plus the Seinfeld impression. I'm sorry, your Seinfeld will always be my favorite.
And people love the singing of the Santa baby.
The singing of the Santa baby. Yes, that's good. Yeah. Tremendous showing at the Down Under.
Thank you. Everybody, honestly.
It was fun.
Like for walking in there and like looking and being like, oh God, to like actually we kind of all crushed. It was very surprising.
Wow. Thank you. I felt like everything was getting derailed because I do a thing where I want to interact with people, but then it's like interact with the wrong people, and now it's too much.
But Mary Jane is like so nice. She's like, all right, everybody, like let's pay attention to comedy.
Mary Jane.
What's her name?
MJ.
Oh,
MJ Peters.
I don't really know her that well. So MJ, she's just very nice. She's like, everyone needs to pay attention. And it's like, wow, this is like more attention than you get like at a bar for sure.
Exactly. And like, I felt so guilty when like I was going up to do they were shushing. And I was like, oh God, nothing I'm about to say is worth like everyone trying to demand attention. So, but still a fun time. I really like doing that mic. Because they are nice. And they are responsive. Yeah.
No, I mean, it's like it's a very realistic way to get up 3 times in a night in Omaha. And they're all like every set last night was very quality in terms of the audience.
Oh yeah.
3 very high quality
That
sets.
was, I'm telling you, I've never seen the back line that packed. Like that was every seat. That's the first time I've seen every seat filled, honestly.
Kind of got my gears going again. Like I want to get back to doing multiple mics in a night. Because the thing is, like I told you, I hadn't only done 1 mic in the last week. And so the showcase, I felt very rusty.
Sure.
And then the open mic, I felt like pretty good, like pretty loose. And then I was just going by that 3rd time. But that's just like, I've been in this space of like thinking more about my act in terms of like the jokes and forgetting like a lot of it's just that comfortability on stage. Yeah. Like that's like 80% of it really.
Yeah, I agree.
Just getting those reps in.
And I feel like, I don't know, I feel like as far as stand-up, I feel like I started trusting myself more. Because I used to like prepare word for word. But I don't know, being loose is fun. Being loose and comfortable.
Getting up there, just being on a microphone and making people, it's still like the wildest thing I've ever done.
Really?
I mean, like every time I do it, I'm like, I can't believe, because you really realize it when you get that moment of silence and you're like, oh, I've lost them. I got to get
Yeah.
Like something just doesn't hit and everyone's just like waiting and watching. Yes. It's like, whoa, this is crazy. It's like time slows down. It's like, pew. Pew. I don't know. It's just funny. Going back to that Colton thing, it's like, and maybe I just need to realize this is me. I don't know. But like, I think it's funny how nobody thinks it's weird if you just like play the guitar and like that's your like hobby, or like I can break out the guitar. But nobody really does that for stand up.
What do you mean?
Like, you have to be fucking obsessed with it, or people like judge you. Like, why don't you fucking go hard enough at it?
But also like
why can't I just like, around the campfire, let me break out the microphone and do a type 5?
Well, I feel like when I'm around my family, they're like, show us your skit.
Oh,
and I'm like, hell no.
I think, where was it? Oh yeah, it was, I was listening, I was binging just Jossin around, and you and Ethan were talking about when people like find out that's why I never tell people I'm a comedian, because they'll always say, tell me a joke.
Yeah. And it's, you set yourself up for it.
And it's like, I met this new friend recently, and then I didn't really want to tell him I do stand up, because this is the other thing you worry about. He's like, oh dude, like, I'm going to come to an open mic sometime. Like, don't do that. Yeah. That will not be fun.
Or like, I don't know. I feel like, and then also if you tell someone, they're like, I've got so many good stories.
Oh, that's the fucking worst. That's
it.
like what parents say. My dad's like, oh, Jake, you should use this in your act. And then he does like a racist joke from the 80s. I'm like, maybe. We'll see. I don't know. And it's like, like people don't, I think, like you'll hear a joke that you've heard like 20 times too. Like it's not a new joke. It's like, that's not really how it works, but.
Yeah. That's funny. I think you could just reuse bits. Reuse jokes. That's great.
Yeah, like just like random. But I do need, I remember Ross told me this, like, tell me a joke once, and I was like, oh, that's good. I'm going to remember that, but I forgot it. You need to tell me a joke, like just in your back pocket.
Yeah. There's one comic who's like, I don't know. I can't remember what the joke was, but he had a good one. The comic that I don't know, but whatever. Doesn't matter. This is crazy. Who could you be? Is it the barista?
No,
who could you be texting right now?
It's Giovanni, my friend that I'm meeting for lunch.
Oh, is it about that time?
Yeah.
All right, that's fine. We are kind of rounding down towards the end of the episode, so
I just want to make sure I wasn't.
Where are you guys getting food?
Leaving him unread. We're going to Jams.
Oh, Jams is the place.
Jams
that's where I was
fire.
Served as a minor a bunch of times.
Wow. They just didn't card.
I just would lie and say my purse got stolen and I didn't have my ID, and they'd be like, "What do you want?" And I'd be like, "Can I get a lemon drop?" Anyways,
I'm getting to that age where I don't get carded, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, you look 42.
I don't know. I think I look younger, if anything. It depends. Do you think I look older than 20? I feel like I might probably just look about 28.
Yeah, you look about 28.
Like right about on the nose.
You look about 28. Yeah, you're fine. You're doing fine.
I'm doing great.
You're doing fine.
I got New Balances.
Yes, cuff jeans.
I got goals and New Balances. I'm doing all right.
That's a good place to be. Again, if you want to plug stuff like your social media, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, you can follow me at Jake_Parker95. If I'm ever doing any shows again, if that starts to happen again in my life, I'll definitely be posting about them.
Nice. Awesome. And as always, hit up Just Jossin Around on Instagram. Leave questions. I haven't been checking those. I don't think we have any questions, but maybe one day.
I'm subscribed now. It took me a while, which is not a personal thing. I just have a lot of podcasts.
Sure.
But I'm in now.
Good. I'm glad you're in the loop. Stay tuned on all upcoming and new episodes.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us today, Jake.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
Fun. And thank you, Grace, as always.